Hello and welcome to the back nine of round one of the 2025 MVPs Open at Austin, presented by Flight Factory. It's our third stop. It's a DGPT Plus event. I'm Erika Stinchcomb.
I'm Madison Walker. We're your two hotkeys.
Honk. We are at Sprinkle Valley today and tomorrow, and then we move to Harvey Pennock, which is the Open at Austin course. Sprinkle Valley was played at US Women's last year. It's a new course for MPO. It's good to be back, though. It is playing harder than ever this year.
It sure is. The conditions are rough, but there's also some course changes that added, I would say, 3 to 4 to more like 5 strokes of difficulty on the entire course. We'll be giving you some stats from last year at US Women's where we played Sprinkle Valley and talking about the stats today as well.
I liked hole 10. You're right back to where hole 1 is. There's always a little crowd. It's a nice, fun downhill shot. Totally gettable par 3, backhand, forehand, whatever you want. No out of bounds. It's just a good time. It's just a breath of fresh air.
Yep, and it did play as the easiest hole of the day, so no wonder we like it so much.
I think the only one under par.
Yes, it averaged at 0.2 under par, and it was indeed the only one under par. We didn't even have any averaging at par.
Check in with Kristen Lott at 1 down and a tie for second. That looks like her BT medium harp on a forehand. Oh, yeah.
Kristen coming off a three-peat win at Waco Annual Charity Open. Shredding in the woods there.
And continuing here, looks like Sarah Hokum on the card. I believe leading right now.
I know. What a good feature card. Second feature card.
Second feature.
This sets up for a forehand and a backhand. It's just player's choice here. It's wide enough where you can pick both. Own overturning this disc, rollering it into the right side of the fairway, but checking up really nicely.
It'll work. I'm wondering, oh yeah, so that was her racer, which is not one that she normally forehands, and she does have a bit of a injury. It seems like she's trying to lay off the forehand, so maybe she was just trying to smooth that one down there instead of kind of doing her normal force over.
Yeah, there's not quite enough room for a backhand flex here, which we know she likes. Holyn going dead straight right at it.
Holyn's zone forehands, man, I could watch those all day. Her zone straight forehands and Silva's left to right turning backhand.
Yes.
Put those on a loop. I'm a happy girl.
I mean, just on a rope to the basket.
You can see the rope. It's glowing.
We call it the follow flight.
Catrina opting for the sidearm.
I like the sidearm because there's lots of room to flex out to the left. You do see this mistake often, crashing to the right side. That circle 2 putt over there is very difficult. There's lots of little tiny trees and low-hanging branches on the slightly elevated pin.
Silva with a nice-looking, gentle backhand. Beautiful.
So good.
Puts it to...
Is that a mid or a putter?
20 feet. That's a putter, Electron NV. Yeah, I like the slow speed play on this one.
Me too.
Oh, I'm just going to lay up that tree in her way. Here's Catrina. Long look for birdie. Catrina not quite converting on the putting green, though that was a tough one. And this is a doozy of a comebacker, if you will.
Yep. Soft hyzer required.
Oh. Wow.
Off the band and in.
That's awesome. Such a tough putt, and she put it on a perfect angle. And Silva bouncing back nicely after a couple mistakes on the front 9. She gets back to even par. She's got to have some of the most birdies out there, out of anybody.
Yeah, her birdie percentage definitely lining up to be one of the highest in the field.
So probable.
Yep. We can't predict the future, but...
Holyn and Own 1 under. Sarah Hokum, Deanne Carey, Kristen Lott all at 2 down through 10.
Hole 11, another par 4 that is a tweener and maybe should almost be a 5. This is one we played almost the exact same hole at US Women's, a forehand or a backhand turnover here off the tee, pushing to this landing zone ideally, but often coming up short, being forced to just get about halfway up this wooded gauntlet fairway and then chipping up and taking your par. The OB line was different, however, last year at US Women's. It was pulled out to those railroad ties, and you had more room to throw a hyzer on your second shot around the tunnel instead of being forced to go down.
Kristen Lott with a forehand off the tee, which I think is the ideal play, and she gets so far down there. That's perfect. Yeah, the OB line's so close right there, and you can tell that changes for the MPO pin, and I don't like it.
Yeah, not a lot of players are getting where Kristen gets, and one extra part about this hole is you can see how frustrated Kristen is. It's the conditions in practice yesterday and then again today and again tomorrow. It's a right to left crosswind, so having to hit that tight of a gap for that long is almost impossible in this type of wind. It was really just blowing your discs around in your hand.
And just a really good example of, having a perfect tee shot, but maybe not being able to convert. But this played as one of the harder holes last year, and there's always a backup on this hole. So you're waiting for a long time before you have to throw. I would love if they just moved this like 80 feet back and made it a par 5 and kept that OB line. I think it'd be a great hole.
Yeah, there almost needs to be a tee pad like 20 feet farther forward.
Yeah. Wow. Good backhand from Silva. Does burn out just a touch early, but she's in the wide open.
When you land in that area where Silva is, she's about 40 feet or 50 feet short of where we just saw Kristen throwing from, and you are forced to make a decision.
Yeah.
Chance that backhand hyzer on the outside, or throw a flexing shot, or just play for par.
Own almost gets all the way out. We see her forehand on display there, but she's going to be caught up. Catrina pulls it over to the left. You can't really see the mandatory on screen, but I believe, she made it, and it's just kind of in a rough spot. I'm not quite sure where Holyn ended up.
She's definitely kicked far to the right.
Yeah.
It can be brutal over there. We might be seeing Holyn with just a pitch out. Yep.
Yeah. Ooh.
And she's not even able
break.
to pitch out to where she can do much with her second shot. She's settling for a bogey at best at this point.
Yeah, she's just going to try to get into the mouth of the tunnel maybe a little bit, and it's still not going to be easy from there.
Own a little early on the tee shot, just trying to get into that tunnel. She does a great job and gets a friendly little skip as well.
Yeah, that's really well done. She's being strategic where she's using the forehand. Catrina progressing most of the way down the tunnel and a friendly little kick into the middle. Silva going to take the tunnel. You see a lot of women just take the right side and hope they skip into a gap.
Yeah, Silva doesn't need to, though, because look at this shot.
Man,
oh my, that is just...
Sneaks around that last tree, too. What a pretty angle.
Yeah, that is a perfect line.
Yeah. This tunnel's no joke.
No, it's so much longer than it looks on camera. Holyn going to try to throw a forehand flex, pushing that right side tree line. She doesn't quite get the distance on it. She'll be, I think, in circle 2.
Yep. Here's Own, her third from outside, circle 2, giving it quite a run. Catrina's fourth, about 90 feet away. And you can see that wind kind of holding her disc a little straighter than she would like.
Yeah, it was frustrating because it wasn't sustained today. It was just random, very intense gusts. Holyn trying to recover that bogey and giving it a very valiant effort. Bogey is fine on this hole, actually. 30 or
How to birdie?
68% of the field with a bogey or worse.
Ouch.
Yeah, there were only 2 birdies today, and we just got to watch Silva genius level birdie.
Taking strokes on the field, except for
Eliezra Midling also getting a birdie. This played as the second most difficult hole of the day, averaging at 1.25 strokes over par. Yeesh.
Yeesh.
This is the OB stroke. I mean, the OB line, I don't know if that added
I think
a full stroke of difficulty.
It already played over par last year. Yeah, not a great change.
Yeah, this one could have been changed to be a little bit better on the easier side, but instead they added that OB and made it more difficult, more of a gauntlet.
It was averaging 3/4 to like 1.3 over par last year.
Oh, yeah.
But Silva, back-to-back birdies, moving back into a tie for second. Kristen Lott leading the way.
Our Birdie Pro Championships check-in. Casey White is losing focus.
This can't happen to me. I'm the king of Massachusetts.
It's a test of strategy, timing, and karma. Do you have what it takes? Order your game today.
Hole 12 of par 3, 330 feet. Not the tightest of tunnels, but it's definitely difficult to get all the way through. You see most women throw kind of a flexing shot that often fades just a little short into this little grouping of trees, leaving you a obstructed circle 2 look. It's not too difficult if the wind is down, but it was a straight headwind today, so at least when I came through, so it was pretty tough to get it all the way down there.
A ripping headwind. Sometimes gusts coming through that were...
Yeah, and this is what you saw a lot of.
Yep.
Wind dummy off the...
Oh, my God, and what a great kick.
Yeah. If you kick right this instead of left, let me tell you.
It's
a true nightmare over there.
It's crazy to watch people's discs come back into the fairway, because I swear on my card, every time someone threw it into the woods, it was just gone.
Yeah.
You don't see it coming back.
Oh, and getting caught up on that early left side.
It's this hole, I believe, is the same as for U.S. Women's.
Ooh.
What a great shot from Catrina.
Yeah.
Still not quite in circle 1. And that's about as good as it gets. 17 players out of 53 got to circle 2 in regulation. Only 4 players got to circle 1. So we already knew this was going to be a hard par 3. That's why we liked those couple of par 3s in the front 9 to be slightly easier. But literally every par 3 is now very difficult now.
Yep.
Except for one.
Yes, now.
No.
Wow. Great upshot. Upshot from Owen.
Yeah, with a little help from 2 or 3 trees.
Silva just gonna lay this up, but definitely would want that to be closer.
That was a bid.
You think so?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
But not as aggressive as she should have been.
Usually it is more aggressive, so she tricked me. Uh-oh. Holyn not able to get through that gap. Definitely uncomfortable stance there. Let's see if she can save a long putt for par.
She's deep in circle 2. No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Man, that is one of the windiest greens of the day.
Yeah. And she's going straight into a headwind here.
Just floating it in. What a par save. And after a double bogey, too, just shaking it right off.
Catrina, rare look for birdie here. Good effort. Chain high, just a little right.
There were only 3 birdies today. Chrissy Fountain, Paige Shue, and Valerie Mandujano. So with just 3 birdies, you are fine with a par. It's another one where you just throw the best shot of your life and have a 60-footer. We love it.
We having fun yet?
We love it.
Valerie Mandujano having some fun, 2 down through 12.
But the tee pads are so nice.
They are nice. And the woods are looking clearer than ever.
So clear. Here's hole 13, another par 4 at 580 that you think, yeah. And then you get down here and you're like, wow. A hyzer off the tee is the textbook correct shot. You won't see many forehands unless you've got a huge one. You want to just make sure you get past that corner. You can even be a little bit more left, but it does extend this second shot that's downhill. It doesn't really have one good gap. I kind of like a forehand that goes out to the wide left and
I think that's safest.
bails back in. Yeah, because there is OB to the right, a little OB fence over there. But there's some sneaker gaps on the right side that are not necessarily, they're not sucker gaps. They're good gaps. but not one great fairway on the second shot of this hole.
Silva gonna find early left. Own with a good angle here. Still in the trees.
Yeah.
Gotta push a little straighter.
So many little trees.
Could you feel much wind on this tee?
No.
I feel like it was not too bad.
No, it was, we assumed it was a tailwind just because of the last hole.
Right.
And we're basically turning around here, but you
man.
couldn't feel much.
No one really able to get out of here. It's tough because, I don't know, I took a little bit off and I was in the center, but this is one where it doesn't really pay off.
Unless
to
you go
be a little
huge.
short. You need to get a big drive down there.
And the thing is, even if you do take some off, your second shot is going to be just a little chip around the corner. We see Catrina trying to do that, not quite getting the fade she wanted. But where she landed is such a tough shot to get down to the green still. Let's see if Holyn can wrap the corner a little bit more. That's an aggressive shot and
Ooh,
so
I like
good.
it. And she gets to the top of the hill. Not going to be a gimme from there, but par is absolutely doable.
Silva also going to cheat the corner a little bit. I like the play. She doesn't get as much turn as you want, but being at the top of the hill, you can see the green and you can find potentially a way.
It's true.
It's not a gimme by any means.
Whoa.
Own fighting the course. Hand-to-hand combat.
That branch was doing things, but great shot. Catrina's third.
She's probably about 260, I think, from the basket.
Yeah,
Downhill, though.
Sounds about right. I liked the turning forehand play, but as Madison said, not really one perfect gap. Owen actually lined up with a pretty big one.
Yeah, sitting pretty.
Got to make sure to get it up over those stumps. That catches a lot of disc coming in, and you can't get the ground play. But you also don't want to go too deep because the OB is, just outside the circle?
Yeah, that's perfect.
That's so good.
Yeah, it's comes up so fast behind the green. Also, the ground play is pretty skippy. We had a little bit of a right to left wind on occasion here on this hole. So you were making sure not to show the underside of your disc too much.
Silva's fourth inside the circle. Holyn's third.
And look at that. So many trees she's having to miss to get down to the green.
There they are, those stumps. I hate those stumps.
Yeah, they're in the way.
I feel like they're always laughing at me. Just laughing.
And that,
laughing away.
So many discs land right there. This is a very common putt on this hole. Holyn converting the par. What a save. Way to play that hole.
Holyn coming in clutch on a lot of these saves.
Wow, this hole played harder than I would have expected. I mean, I know it's hard, but only 9 people got to circle 2 in regulation, 4 of those to circle 1. There were only 3 birdies. Violet Main, again, getting it.
Yeah, she
Incredible.
has a lot of power.
Shelly May Lai got it on my card. Her second forehand was a bomb and got through all the trees. It was really impressive. And then Hannah Stefanovic getting
she's
another hard one.
Some really good ones. Own, still bogey free. We should talk about that more because, wow.
It's just unheard of on this course. She's doing such a great job of staying out of the rough. And that is so difficult to do out here with how skippy the ground can be.
The skippiest.
The skippiest and the unpredictablest.
Little shank from Holyn here.
We just wanted to see it again in slow-mo.
But I mean, but then she scrambled, so very impressive and a good reminder of the power of scrambling.
Yeah.
Hole 14 used to be a gettable par 3.
R.I.P.
It's uphill 350 feet. If you want to get there, you have to throw a pretty aggressive flex shot and get a nice little skip.
And as hard as you can.
And as hard as you can. It used to be, like 80 to 100 feet shorter
Yeah,
and
80.
left. It was more of just a hyzer. Now just another very technical max distance flex shot through a tunnel.
Uphill.
Uphill.
Headwind.
And you see this mistake a lot, though you don't see it get through quite that well as often as Own did. But, I mean, that's going to be great for par. But you need it to turn out of your hand pretty early.
Yeah, that one kind of bent white tree in the middle that Holyn is throwing directly at, you want to almost hit that.
Oh, my God.
Dude, unbelievable.
Oh, man.
Holyn's game is blowing my mind.
Yeah. Man, if she 1 inch, and that would have been perfect. And she gets kicked to a very awkward spot. And here's the other common mistake. Not quite turning it out of your hand early enough, and it's fine.
Mm-hmm. You're happy with that?
You know what I would be happy with? A gettable par 3.
Yeah, we could use...
It was like not quite a must get, but it was close.
Yeah, and by having to throw as hard as you can uphill blind, you're just inviting so many errors. Thankfully, though, the approach is not too difficult.
It's not too bad of a par. Like,
no,
it's fine.
It's not great.
Par's fine.
It's really fine. 64% of the field shooting fine on this hole with a par.
Yep. Own laying up to just outside the bullseye there.
8 people got to circle 2 in regulation. Only 3 of those getting to circle 1 in regulation. Exciting.
Mm-hmm.
For those people.
Oh my, look at this. What is this? Where's she going? What? Oh man, Holyn.
There's nothing. There's something.
Wow.
Great.
Cool. That looked like a wall.
Yeah, Holyn from circle 2, not able to even try to putt it. Catrina with a good par save on a little bit of a tester putt.
Beautiful putt.
2 birdies today on hole 14. Elise Midling and Henna Bloomroos.
Congrats. Okay, all my eggs are in the basket of just hoping Own shoots bogey free.
Yeah, that would be the most exciting
Yeah.
story of the day.
Definitely.
I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah.
The fact that she doesn't have a bogey yet is
especially without having her optimal forehand.
Yeah.
And a round of par is pretty typical and fine on 14.
One under par is good enough to lead the whole tournament. Valerie Mandujano flexing her Texas muscles. And here's hole 15. Another par 4 that on the distance side looks like something you could do, but then you get out here and you're wrong. It's a really
It's fun.
It's fun. No, it's a really, really specific tee shot, another uphill tee shot that plays farther than you think. In practice, I was thinking a backhand turnover with a fairway was sufficient, but that's not it. You have to throw a full distance drive to get to where you need to be if you're playing for birdie.
And this is the aggressive line for birdie.
Yes.
You can take more of a hyzer.
Own still will not be able to birdie from there. It needed to be much higher. And Holyn going to go the right gap, which I am surprised. I feel like I've seen no one do this. Feels a little bit like a sucker gap to me.
That's my play.
Is it?
Yeah. It's pretty safe. It's pretty safe. Holyn just didn't do it right. You're not going to get the birdie doing that, though.
Yeah, all 3 fairways here on this hole are really great gaps.
Yeah, that middle one especially.
Dude, Cat Merch takes that gap and it's
no,
unbelievable.
she doesn't. That's a sucker gap. That's
no, it's
crazy.
Not. It's good.
Okay, all right.
It's good.
Okay.
You can get so far if you just throw it straight.
Sure,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Well, here's where a lot of players land short. Their second shot, they're not able to bite off much on the corner at all. And it still leaves a really demanding third shot to the green. This is an area of some of the thickest wood chips on the course if we're looking at size.
Boy, she does look like a sucker now, huh?
Yeah. Oh, man. Look at that Texas rough. Still not quite to the corner. Again, trying to play a big skippy shot and gets a really good result off of an early release.
Catrina working the hyzer. This is tough. It's easy to go too deep like that. It's hard to swing it in and get the ground play to wrap that tightly around the corner from there.
Own with the best drive and still has to do basically a left turn here. She's going to look for some ground play, and she goes too early. This is where you really can't error. It's becomes difficult to even get up and down from in that middle grouping of trees.
Holyn trying to work a very technical forehand on the outside, and it does not work.
And
that was her fourth.
Here's a classic par 4 at Sprinkled. You get off the tee into the rough, and you are just left reeling, absolutely spiraling, trying to get your strokes back.
Silva doing a nice job of keeping it in the fairway, keeping the stress levels at a tolerable level, getting pars.
Holyn throwing 5 here. Thankfully, finally a little bit more of an open shot.
Oh, no.
Yeah, she leaves herself a tester. This played as the third most difficult hole of the day. 50% of the field with a bogey or worse.
Ooh, nice little forehand approach from Catrina.
So pretty. And she's playing this hole exactly the way that you're supposed to. Owns third shot right now. Look at what she's looking at, a wall of trees. She's trying to kind of scramble something up the left side that is not a side you want to be playing on. She will give herself a putt. Oh my.
Wow, she's bogey free. She's bogey free. Look at her go.
I honestly did not think she was going to recover this par. That is, yeah.
I'm
Stick your tongue
hyped.
out at the world.
My
So
eggs are
good.
safe. I don't know why I said all of my eggs are in that basket, but we're sticking with it.
Yes, we are.
Holyn, also a great tester putt.
Still making really great putts even after struggling her way up the fairway. She proved it multiple times today. Silva for a par. That's great. There was only one birdie today. Only 4 people got to circle 2 in regulation, only 2 to circle 1. And the only birdie was from Raven Klein.
Yeah, Raven.
Shout out.
Get it, girl.
2 very specific and very high level shots required for that birdie.
Own. Bogey free.
Wow. Incredible.
Yeah. Valerie Mendojano hanging on to that one down as well.
Hamas needs to get something going. And in, Adam Hamas. Hole in 1. Incredible.
Hole 16, a par 4, 650 feet. Gettable. It's gettable. There's OB everywhere. Forehand, I think, is kind of the safer play. Backhand turnover is the more aggressive play. And then you need a huge second shot that also controls its speed on the way in because it's on a right to left sloping green towards out of bounds, also an elevated pin. So if you get a huge tee shot, the top half of the distance throwers in the field are definitely thinking birdie, but you have to go, I don't know, really aggressive to get there.
It's funny to describe this as gettable.
It's more gettable than some of the others.
And most of the par 4s. I will agree with you there.
Yeah, it's just more open. It's kind of nice to be able to throw an open shot on the second.
The conditions were a little brutal today.
True.
We had a head/right to left wind on this tee pad, opposite from what it's doing on the rest of the holes and the rest of the course. So very confusing. There's a weird vortex over here in this corner of the course. Catrina with a really nice turning shot. Yeah, you kind of have to push that OB line on the right side in order to set yourself up for the second shot.
Yeah, because that huge tree is in the way.
Yeah, there is an inside gap, but it is just not worth the risk at all.
And Holyn with the forehand, love that play. Everyone inbounds and can think about attacking. But yeah, look at that huge tree. You got to go all the way around and skip. Own pulls hers. Uh-oh.
No.
She's in. She's in.
She's in.
It's
All right,
okay.
we're good.
She's alive.
Yeah, this second shot is definitely a distance thrower's paradise. Big hyzer bomb.
Tough with the right to left wind, though, coming
Yes.
in. It was causing a lot of them to push that left side OB.
And it's very easy if you go too hard to get a big skip here. The ground
Yeah.
is super fast. Look at Catrina's disc just getting so lucky.
Yeah.
Not going over those railroad ties.
It is nice to have those railroad ties there.
Yeah, you see a lot of flare skips over the top of them. Silva coming in with a little less pace.
Yeah, I like the width on that. That was beautiful.
Yeah, it even kind of landed more flat, almost hitting the box that the basket's perched on.
And Holyn way down here with her forehand drive, able to go slower speed. You sit? Yeah. All right. Just outside the circle for Holyn.
Choo choo. Own gonna just jump putt up to the green. Not gonna mess around with this elevated basket at all. Good for her.
Bogey free.
Bogey free.
Holyn for birdie.
Big decision here.
She's doing it.
She's doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Her putting is lights out today.
Is this what, her third slow mez?
Yeah.
I can't count that high.
And I think her third or fourth circle 2 putt.
Man, that was pure the whole way. Very dangerous with the elevated pin. You can end up 3-putting in 1 hot second, but not Holyn Handley.
Silva just a little bit high, a couple inches, ramps off the top of the band.
Catrina looking for, I believe, her first birdie of the round.
Yay, she got it there.
There we go.
Really nice work on that elevated basket, and what a great birdie. One of only 7 today.
And Silva and Own cleaning up their pars. A well-played hole for 16. As long as you stay in bounds, this one, not the worst hole.
Mm-mm.
It's all right.
Yeah, appropriate.
Appropriate.
Serious Holland face.
Owen and Valerie still doing the thing.
Yep. Moving on to hole 17. This, thankfully, today was set up with a favorable wind. We play the exact same pin and tee as U.S. Women's, but with the addition of this really brand new, beautiful wall.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what, 3 feet tall? It's a tall wall.
4 maybe.
Yeah, it's a tall wall.
3.5.
No wall on the back, though. So you got to get over the wall, but then you can't crash into anything in the back as a backboard. It's a very touchy shot. Thankfully, we do have a tailwind, like I said today. And then an added little bonus just to really flex on everyone that we are in Texas. Some antlers on the front.
That block the drop zone putt.
Yes, they do. Sometimes drives.
Oh, no. Catrina with a fantastic drive there. Holyn not quite able to swing in. We didn't really have this wind in... I guess yesterday.
Yeah.
It had this wind. Oftentimes it's a headwind here, which is much more difficult.
Yeah.
But it's still plenty difficult. Just look.
The tee pads, the tee sign says 330, but range found, it's about 285.
Yeah.
But it, like Erika said, with a headwind, feels more like 350 or even more than that.
Silva with a perfect shot there.
Kind of buzzing the basket.
It does say 280.
They must have...
They fixed it.
They did fix it.
Yeah, the caddy book is wrong. Holyn from the drop zone. No one actually going through those antlers. Holyn! Give her a slow mez. Do it. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, this is the most slow mezzes from one person in one round. It's got to be.
Probably.
Look at all the vultures slow-mo circling in the background, too. That's over hole 18.
Yeah. The corpses of not good rounds were going to die.
Dude, what a drop zone putt and what a par save.
That's nuts. Oh, do it too. Please do it too. Oh.
Dang.
Good bid.
19 birdies on this hole. So add Silva to that pile. 36% of the field. Still the third easiest hole of the day.
And Catrina going back-to-back birdies now.
Sorry, fourth easiest.
Oh, good. I get to talk about 18. Oh, my gosh. Get ready. Everyone buckle up right now.
But this is crazy. 36% birdie, 47% bogey. It's just one of those.
2 or a 4.
Oh, classic island hole. All right, so you have your perfect round. You're leaving hole 17, and you're facing
This. Oh my gosh. Okay. The drive isn't too bad, but you do want to try to get as far as possible. You're teeing from out of bounds. If you don't cross, there's a drop zone. There's OB right and left pretty wide. You want to land about here. Second shot, you're going over this little bubble of OB. You're trying to penetrate these trees right here in this gap and get as close to the staircase as possible, but not too close because you don't want to throw nose up, because this whole section is out of bounds, people. It used to be like a inbounds little runway strip. Now that railroad tie, which is in the bullseye, out of bounds. If you don't cross, keep throwing, and then keep throwing, and then keep throwing, and then if you miss 4 times, you proceed to a drop zone. It's insane.
It's 40 feet away from the basket and at that out of bounds, so it's not an easy drop zone either. Let's watch Evelina play. She's going to make it look super easy because that's what she does on the hardest holes on the course. Look at this little turning
Get up
shot.
there. You want to at least cross up there so you can move ahead, and she's inbounds. Look how thrilled she is.
Yeah, she sneaks inbounds.
Do it.
Tester.
Yeah. What a finish. This hole played a full stroke to a stroke and a half over par last year every single round, and they made it a million times harder.
Yeah, it's 2 strokes of difficulty. Well, maybe a stroke and a half of difficulty.
Rebecca working this right side on her third shot. Oh my gosh. That would have been so cool.
This is Rebecca's year. We're going to see Rebecca take down a win this year.
Yeah, we are. I like that you're calling it.
Yeah, I'm calling it hot in the booth.
I'm listening to it hot.
Kristen Tatar.
Uh-oh.
I mean, Lot. Oh, this early release forces her to have to just rethrow.
I mean, she can move up there,
Yeah.
but you see a lot of women take it back a little bit. I don't like it this close personally.
This
to
is
the
where
stairway.
I would take it as well.
Really?
Yeah.
I go back like 10 feet.
If you're a forehand flex player, it's
sure,
pretty,
forehand.
yeah, pretty simple little flex shot.
She just has to keep doing this and up to 4 times.
Kristen was in a tie
not
for
it
third
either.
before this. Oh,
Did
no.
she cross though?
Yes, she did cross. So
Okay.
the flags, if they're pointed at the sky, you crossed. If they're pointed at you, you stay where you are. We love the spotters' efforts. Kristen from the drop zone, she's throwing 9. Not something we say very much.
No. And that is the risk of running the putt. Is it normal OB rules now?
Yes.
Yeah. And woof.
Yeah.
Best in the world taking an 11.
Yes.
If you can't tell, we don't like this change.
Yes. It's the fact that we're watching Kristen do it. I hope that gets the point across to everyone how difficult it truly is and how unreal this birdie is from
Yeah.
Rebecca Cox.
Very nicely done. Okay, back to our feature card. Catrina Allen up first.
Yeah, let's watch this hole. Everyone played this hole. Katrina early releasing that.
Sit.
Oh no. Oh yes.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Being up on that hill is actually kind of nice for your second shot.
Yeah, you can just throw a hyzer. Very nice little break. Silva with a more typical play, kind of working the right side. Just ignore the vultures. Just ignore them.
They're literally over the green.
Just looming. Yeah. Don't mess up. Don't mess up.
Yeah.
Holyn working the hyzer. A nice safe shot. If you have the power for it, you can get way up there.
So one challenging part about the first shot on this hole is where everyone's landing on that right side in the grass. It's almost like there used to be gardens there or something. There are strips of higher dirt. So it's like you're almost walking, you're
undulating.
Yeah, it's undulating. As you're running up, you're going up and down. You start feeling a little horsey-ish.
Oh, no. Oh, my gosh. Okay. Okay. Own really getting away with one there.
Yeah.
Off the paintball wall. What is that?
Yeah, she's doing some own things.
Holyn left with a nice clear gap, but goes too high.
Oh, this is a slow disc. No, this is. Oh.
horrible kick.
Yeah, almost a really great shot. Love the slower speed disc.
You see a lot of just pitch ups on the third, trying to get to the ideal location to approach on the final shot.
Catrina set up for a hyzer, just going through this middle gap nice and low. She early releases it, but not able to get through. She's going to have to just pitch up before her final shot to the green. Silva in a good position right now, but does have to throw a little nose up over these paintball walls. Ugh.
And we're just going to see some pitch ups here.
Yep.
Dealer's choice of where exactly you want to land. I think that a decent compromise would be like, oh, you missed once, go to a drop zone at the top of the stairs.
Yeah, that's what I was talking to Madison Tomeno after the round. She's a tournament director in Portland. She does a really great job with women's tees. She was saying if they just put the out of bounds line on the top of the stairs, it would just make it so much more playable for FPO. I can't speak on MPO. And yeah,
not a very good pitch up.
Holyn struggling in a weird position there where it was kind of checkerboarded. She's gonna have to pitch up twice.
Double pitch up. Okay, let's see if it was worth it. She's in a good spot. This is about how far back I like to be for for the backhand. Excuse me.
Holyn opting for a run up here. That's another risky play because the mulch definitely can cause some early releases, but this looks great.
Yeah.
Lays that down just in the nick of time.
Super well done from Holyn.
A lot of players just planning to blast one as hard as they can, make sure they cross the green.
Catrina from a not ideal spot, still going for it. Yeah.
Very fortunate break there.
But yeah,
jumping over the wall.
Yeah, I just think that part should be in bounds as well.
I agree. And like Erika said in the flyover, that railroad tie is
at bullseye's edge.
At bullseye's edge. Like, that's a good shot to hit that thing. Own safe. We love that.
Yeah. Very nice shot.
Silva with a really pretty...
No!
I thought she was short of that.
Man, that was looking nice. And she's going to have to just either rethrow or move
Silva's
slightly
our
forward.
only player under par right now, I think, for the tournament at this moment.
She is. Okay.
Throw it in. Oh, okay. That's a nice break. But look at this comeback putt, slightly elevated right at that OB line at the edge of the bullseye.
And guaranteed not going to be under par. No.
Yeah.
No one is.
No.
All right. For a double bogey. Oof.
I love that she ran it, but it's... Look at the wind gusting right to left as she was putting.
Holyn on a tear. What a putting performance today.
With 2 pitch ups.
Gets a 6.
God.
A 6. This is going to sound silly, but a 6 is a fantastic score on this hole today. What did it average?
So there were 3 birdies. We watched Evelina and Rebecca get it. Haiti Line also got it. There was only 8 fives. The average is 2.81 strokes over par.
Brutal.
70% of the field taking triple bogeys or worse.
Yeah, just kind of.
I mean, double bogeys or worse.
Making us look bad. Katrina and Own with some nice pars.
Beautiful pars.
Holyn with 2 pitch outs. Amazing that she just got a single bogey. And Silva with a rough finish. Gonna move down the leaderboard a little bit. Let's check in here.
Have we ever seen a hole averaging that much over par?
No.
Yeah, 2.8.
Not just probably, definitely not.
No, that's the worst hole we've seen in FPO.
Statistically. Own with only 1 bogey, 1 birdie, super clean round. Even par is gonna be solo first. Sarah Hokum +1. Rebecca Cox, we gotta see her finish +2, and Valerie Manduhano, who held strong the entire day, also +2. We'll see if we can get under par tomorrow, and yeah, we live to fight another day.
Yeah, this was a humbling day for sure. I think we're going to see a lot of people change their game plan and stop going as hard for birdies. We'll see maybe a lot. I think we're going to see a lot of players closer to par tomorrow. Not as many big numbers because I think today, I don't know, I came out wanting to play more aggressive and trying for birdies, but tomorrow I am going to take my medicine.
Let's just stay in the middle.
Yeah, and I think everyone's feeling that. So we do have one more round at Sprinkle tomorrow in round 2 before we move over to Harvey Pinnock on the golf course and a little bit more of open conditions. We got wind again, opposite direction tomorrow. So come watch us attack this course. I'm Madison Walker.
I'm Erika. Hold on. Ding your bells. And yeah, follow us on the YouTubes.
Sing those bells loud.
Please. I'm Erika Stinchcomb. We're your 2 hotkeys.
Honk.
Sunshine, get up on my body, know it truly, I feel fine. Get up watch your body and I feel that sunshine. Get up on my body, know it truly, I feel fine.